Unseld, Henderson, and Greavy. For the Seattle SuperSonics, who lead this series 2-1, it'll be the two Johnsons, Shelton, Sikma, and Williams. Should be a dandy, and we'll be right back with the tip-off. They are extremely confident, but the Bullets came to work today with a lot of determination.
Not an empty seat. They're ready to go.
Controlled by the Bullets. Off the opening tap, Greavy goes for the game's first field goal. On Sunday, Greavy was 1 of 6, so already he has matched his output here early. Williams goes to the corner. Shelton and John Johnson to lead up on the block shot.
That shot was blocked by the Big E, but it fell right in the hands.
That's a perfect example of people not watching the ball when you're on defense.
Henderson down the middle. The opening was there, and he missed the layup. So Greavy and Henderson have responded to the guard challenge early. Question being, can they keep it up? Dennis Johnson on the turn was fouled.
That'll go against Henderson as DJ set him up down low left. Watch him fake like he's going to cross the lane, turn back to his left. At 6'4", he leaned into him to get the shot away and draw the foul. 2 free throws for DJ.
Hot Rod, I'd like to welcome everybody who just finished watching Johnny Carson's monologue. This is Game 4 of the NBA Championship Series. Dennis Johnson with the free throw. And it's 3-2, the Sonics over the Bullets. The Sonics in white lead this series 2 games 1. Game 5 back in Landover on Friday night. It has been a tongue war. Watch away from the ball underneath. It isn't pretty, but it's efficient. Greavy forced back, and here's Henderson playing catch with him. The former Kentucky star makes his move. That's 2 layups for Kevin. He's doubled his output now from Sunday.
He had missed a couple of those shots earlier in the first couple of games. That leaping leaner going into the basket. This time he's hit both.
Williams is averaging 28 a game for the Sonics. DJ moves it to John behind his back, and there was a foul. Hayes with his first one.
Here's the play again. John Johnson, who's a very good passer, makes a fine behind-the-back pass. Lonnie Shelton got pushed from behind. That's why he lost the handle on it.
Shelton moves it quickly to Williams. Gus moves, misses the jump, and Hayes to the defensive rebound, and here's Henderson. He'll control now for the Bullets.
He made a comment that the Seattle guards are shooting so well, but sooner or later they got to start missing. That time Gus took not a good percentage shot.
Turnaround, E baseline off. Sikma. He's the leading rebounder in the series. Averaging 12 a game. Again, JJ behind the back to DJ. It's 6-4. Sonics over the champions. The Bullets have been scrambling throughout the playoff. They had to come back against Atlanta, back against San Antonio. Now they have to dig in one more time. Greavy is short and Shelton is off. There's an open man. It's the Wizards. It's 8-4 Sonics.
Brent, there's one thing that Washington's got to try and get more of. It's running plays, get some breaks. They've been almost shut off completely in the last 2 games. They've been standing around and having to go to the set offense all the time.
Unseld moves to Greavy, and Greavy just says, I'm going to put up everything. Dandridge comes up against the double team and is fouled. And the crowd in the Coliseum reacts angrily.
Here's the shot again. You'll see Bobby bring it down with the left side fake. Right here will be Jack Sikma on him at 6'6". Dandridge went up over, put the shot up. JJ blocked it down from the back. So we got a timeout.
Lenny Wilkins doesn't know who the foul is on.
Neither do I.
It's on Shelton.
Johnson blocked the shot. It's Washington ball.
Greavy lobs to Hayes, double teamed, and he's tied up by Shelton. Jump ball.
Put it on the floor. That made it easy for Shelton to reach in to tie him up. Watch the Big E. If he'd have just turned and taken a shot, but right there when he bounced it, Shelton reached in and made a good play.
Sonics up by 4. Bullets control the tap, and it's Henderson backing in on Williams. He'll come up with a jump shot. Missing, battle for the rebound. Sikma off to DJ. Sonics come down as quickly as they can. Dandridge picks up John Johnson, who goes inside to DJ. On the double team is a bad pass, and Unseld was right there. Here come the Bullets now. Henderson down the middle. Off quickly to Dandridge. His first shot.
Offensive foul on Elvin Hayes. He just ran a block like he was going for a running back on this play. You'll watch him when we come into the picture. Watch Elvin Hayes right over here and knocking at Lonnie Shelton with the forearm, running interference.
The battle of the big men continues. Like Roman gladiators here in Seattle. Sikma to the glass is short, loose. Back to DJ. Dennis up. Loose and down the floor come the Bullets. Henderson out of Greavy, and Greavy knifes the glass, and Dennis blocks it. Dennis Johnson, the best defensive guard in the NBA.
Fantastic block on that play. Once Greavy take it right to him, DJ timed it perfectly, went up with a right hand coming over his shoulder and blocked it cleanly.
And that time Greavy shot it with his right hand. He took it right to the defensive man. He should have shot a left-handed little hook shot that time.
Still 8-4. JJ goes to work on Dandridge, glides inside, and Bobby D stuck right with him that time. Right, that's ball out of bounds, and Seattle set play.
I'm surprised at Greavy because he's a left-handed player, and he used his right hand to take it to the defense that time. Very surprising play on his part.
JJ will throw the ball inbounds now for the Sonics. Takes it from Daryl Garrettson. Shelton comes around deep in the corner. An offensive foul as he turned into the man. That's 2 fouls on Shelton. It'll go to the Bullets on the turnover. Henderson and Greavy will bring it up now for Dick Motto, who signaled the play standing up. There's Dick. Now he'll kneel down on the towel. And the chairman of the board will soon be checking in for Seattle. And we'll have more body thumping when he arrives. Greavy. Missed the shot, loose. Shelton off to Williams. Gus will throw up the jumper. Short, and Shelton flies over the rebound, lost control out of bounds, and it'll go to the Bullets. And here he is, number 35.
It's about as early as we've seen Salas in the series.
He has his elbows sharpened up.
Less than 4 minutes, Paul Salas in the game.
Greavy comes around the double pick of Unseld and Hayes, and it's still another one. That's 6 points for Greavy in the first period. Sonics lead it by 2, and Williams signals the play for the Sonics as his partner DJ brings up down to the middle, and Greavy watches it. Sikma would like to go to work on Unseld, who's leaning on him. Wes knocks it away. It's clear out, and Jack is double teamed. No foul called on Dandridge, no harm on it, and JJ buries the field goal. It's a 3-second violation. No field goal.
Very good Jack Sikma on this play. Here's Wes Unseld. No contact. A good pass inside, but 3 seconds. Paul Silas, who wasn't in your picture, was in the lane.
Bullets shoot for the tie at the 7:35 mark, first period. Elvin Hayes with Silas on him. They lob to Dandridge. Underhand Unseld, out of bounds, Bullets ball.
Well, they've done a superb job of team defense. Seattle that time double teaming Dandridge. You would have had an easy shot had he been going against one man.
Hayes on the jump shot. JJ to the rebound for the Sonics. Puts the ball on the floor. Silas ahead of him on the right. Now Paul's got it. He'll take a set shot outside. And he fooled everybody.
That's a bonus when he hits one out there.
10-6 now. Sonics. JJ, Elvin, Dandridge, and Henderson from the perimeter. Unseld and Sikma will push him. It'll go against Wes. We've got a timeout.
There's the
Here's
shot.
Wes.
Let's watch Wes underneath the boards. Here he goes battling for position right there. Sikma was trying to go after him. He hooked him out of the way. It didn't look like a very much of a foul that time.
Canucks and John Tate has scored 20, 14, and 19 points. He shot only 36% in this series. He has 11 points in the fourth quarter. He has vowed to snap out of the slump. DJ is short, and Hayes to the rebound, and here comes Tommy Henderson. Henderson to the glass, and I want to tell you, the guards have got the message on the Bullets. They may not stay up with Williams and Johnson, but they're going to flame out trying here tonight.
Well, I was tired about reading about all these Seattle SuperSonics scoring guards. So Greavy with a great start.
Sikma, fine young talent. So is Gus Williams. Sonics should get nothing but better in the years ahead. Here's one of their fine veterans, and Hayes blocked the Silas shot. Now it's Henderson again controlling the ball. Dandridge to Kevin Greavy, and again it's the guards. Taken down by DJ. Williams is ahead of him. Henderson goes with him, and John Johnson broke the other way, and it went out of bounds. It'll go to the Bullets. So it's 10-8. Greavy with 6 and Henderson with 2.
He would have had a layup. JJ really turned it on right side, but the pass was a little bit too far in front of him for him to cleanly handle the play and get the layup.
5:50, first period. They go into Hayes. Sikma knocked it away, but right to Henderson. And Jack yanks it down again. Two-hand outlet. Here comes Williams. Slow up now and set a play. Sikma and Dennis come back, and it's 5-on-5. 12 on the shot clock, a lot of time. Turnaround by Sikma.
He has been phenomenal. 10 out of 14 in the last game, and a lot of them like that field goal, outside jump shooting.
4-point Seattle lead. They lead in the series. 2 games, 1. Game 5, Friday night. Landover, Maryland. DJ watching Greedy. Greedy comes inside, and the foul is called as he put it up on Dennis.
You see Greavy had Dennis a little out of position, driving down the middle, getting that good penetration. Right there for the shot, the foul with the body. Greavy to the line. Brent, in set-up opportunities, Washington has only scored 1 basket off of set situations. There are other baskets that come off of breaking opportunities. They've had more breaks here early in this game, I think, than they had the entire ball game the other night.
Rick, a lot of it is they're pressing the break. Mata has told both Greedy and Henderson, he told me before the game, that he was going to try to take it to him and make Johnson and Williams work as hard as he possibly could early on defense. Now, Lenny Wilkins said, I'm not sure what Dick is going to do, but it'll be different. And immediately, Lenny countered with Paul Silas to get a little more muscle up front. Williams goes back to Sikma on the left side, and Jack again, the blonde bomber from Illinois Wesleyan.
You make those guards work on the defense, it makes them less effective on offense, that's for sure. So they got to keep the pressure. Henderson and Greavy going to the basket.
West at the top of the circle, goes to Dandridge. Dandridge takes the jump shot. High bounce, Sikma there with another rebound. And here's the Wizard. Henderson's back. And Henderson had stopped Williams in the middle and forced that turnover.
Well, watch Gus on this play. He tries to make almost an incredible pass. He knew J.J. was there, but without even looking, he just threw the ball in the area, but it was behind J.J. who had cut through.
Boy, they love that behind-the-back pass tonight, the Seattle SuperSonics. The Washington guards have taken 13 of the team's 17 shots here in the early going. Away from Hayes, Dennis went out after it. He got a hand on it. Ball went out of bounds. DJ complaining he was fouled.
Here's your play. You'll see DJ hustling right along the base, trying to pick the ball up. Right there, he got the hand on it as Hayes pressured him from behind.
The Sonics, talented and confident. Dandridge blocked underneath. Look at Sikma and Silas, and the foul call loose. Bobby Dandridge has assessed the personal.
You see the action under the boards. There we see the ball bouncing around. Sikma keeps it alive. Wes Unseld wants Silas with the rebound. Dandridge with the foul.
Right hand, Dennis Johnson blocked the shot to start that play, too. Incredible defensive move, switching in the middle.
2 blocks already by DJ Hot Rod. Williams goes to Silas, bounces into Greavy. Missed the shot. Goaltending is called.
We're going to call goaltending on Elvin Hayes.
And the reason was he banged against the backboard and shook the backboard. Now here's the shot, misses him, boom. He hit the board, his hands are on the board. You're not allowed to do that when the ball's up there on the rim.
16-10 as a result of that goaltending call. The Sonics lead it by 6 at 3:36. Henderson presses the layup. Hayes offensive rebound and the hook shot. 16-12.
That's a great turnaround jump hook. About 3 feet away, protected the ball with his body, and nice soft touch.
John Johnson now goes to Gus Williams, who's coming baseline. The battle continues, and the little man came away. The Wizard, 18-12, Sonics. Dandridge pressured, double team, goes now to Henderson. He'll be left alone for the open shot. A little bit too much spin. Sikma quickly to Williams at the corner. Gus pressures to the right and slips and traveled as he went down. Is he hurt? He went down hard.
He's okay.
I think he's all right.
Just slid into second base. He's all right. Feet went right out from under him. You take a look again. Boy, he can really accelerate. Brings it right top of the lane. He tried to put the brakes on, and the shoes went right out from under him. We got a timeout.
Boy, he did hit hard. 18-12, Seattle.
Brent, this week is Vietnam Veterans Week. And I personally want to welcome all the veterans home. You know, they were never honored like most returning servicemen, so welcome home, fellas. We hope you're enjoying our telecast. Seattle 18, Washington 12. We're in the first period.
And Hot Rod, we've got 2 minutes and 54 seconds to play in that first period. For Seattle, 5 men are in the scoring column, only 3 for the Bullets. Dandridge has not yet scored. And here's the Big E. Unseld, offensive rebound. Sonics bitterly complaining that he traveled. Wilkins is up yelling. Elvin is now 1 of 6. On Sunday, he was 5 of 20. The slump continues. Sikma as Unseld knocked it away from him. So the Sonics will set the play as young Jack Sikma, the second-year pro from Illinois Wesleyan, walks over. Deep pass to Williams. Pull-up sends it back to DJ. Dennis is pulled up short. Hayes, defense outlet, too far. Anderson, he'll never track it down.
Not a good pass. Elvin's doing a great job off that defensive board, but that time he just alley-ooped it down court. No chance for Henderson to catch up to the ball.
Sonics 18, the Bullets 14. Jack Sikma has shot well on the turnaround. That slingshot of his up over Unseld. JJ sends it back to Dennis. Williams goes backdoor, and there's a foul down away.
Johnson set a moving screen that time, Brent. Johnny Johnson set a moving screen, trying to free Gus Williams. We'll watch the play under the basket. Now you'll see John Johnson right over here, moving to the left part of your screen, right there on the move. Fouled Henderson.
1:50 now, first period here in the Coliseum in Seattle. Reeve sends it back to Big Wes. And Wes takes the jump shot. It'll roll away, and Silas rebound off the DJ. Wilkins calls the play as the Sonics slowly bring it up. They are not getting those early offense opportunity shots here. Henderson tries to clog the middle. Williams goes to work on him. Drew the foul. He'll come up to the free throw line. The Bullets with 5 are now in the penalty. The Sonics with 2 team fouls.
Brent, neither team shooting well. Neither team really establishing much of a running game, although Washington has tried to do a little bit more. They've had opportunities. They've only scored 3 baskets. Ironically, the Sonics, who have done so well with their running early offensive game, have only scored 1 basket, yet they've been very effective on the set offense. They've scored most of their points off the set situation. When the Bullets are still in the slump on the set, they're not scoring many hoops.
The Bullets have not yet substituted. They've gone with their starters throughout the first period.
During the regular season, they're the 3rd best team in the NBA offensively, the Bullets, and they have yet to make 100 points. Have only 14 here in the first quarter with 1 minute and 10 left.
And that would be their low quarter of the year. They're held to 16. Hayes came in, stayed with it, no foul. Sikma is off to Williams. The Big E just lost control of it. They move it to Dennis. Hayes went flying, and there's a foul called. Wes Unseld coming up into Dennis Johnson. That's 2 fouls on Unseld.
That was a great block Hayes made on the original shot coming in. Right here you'll see the Big E right there. He slapped it off the glass. Then Unseld coming over the top gets the foul and a penalty. It'll be DJ at the free throw line.
Conrad, you mentioned Washington's line on Sunday was 25, 19, 22, and 29. The Bullets have scored 30 points in only 1 period so far, and that was back in the second period of game 1 when they had 33 points. They had only 16 in that 4th period when they were beaten 92-82. And Dick Motta looking on with a 14-point production right now. Dandridge. 16, 22-16, but of course defensively they have held the Sonics to 22. Reeve looks for a screen. John Johnson goes to the shot, right to Sikma. Jack will hand to Williams, screen for him, and he misses. Elvin battling 2 Sonics. John Johnson controls. Time running out of the first period. Sikma with a good pick. And Williams used it well. Great play by Sikma, and then Williams, who took his time. 24-16. The end of the first period with the score. Seattle 24, Washington 16. And the NBA on CBS will continue after these messages from your local station. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. We begin the second period of this, the fourth game of the NBA Championship Series. Seattle leading the world champion Washington Bullets 2 games to 1. And the Sonics now with the lead as we start the second period. Here's JJ going backdoor. Williams foul. Larry Wright was down there underneath on him, and so too was Kevin Greavy.
It's a great pass from JJ right off the bounce into Gus, straight as the needle. Right there was the foul made by Larry Wright, just coming on here in the second quarter.
Wright is Dick Motter's first substitution, and Greg Ballard also has come into the game at the same time, number 42, left-hand side of your screen.
But the Bullets would really be in trouble for what for Larry Wright's great performance in that first game, which they won at the buzzer.
Larry Wright threw in 26 points that afternoon when this championship series got underway in Landover. 25-16. And the technical foul is called against Bernie Bickerstaff and the Washington bench. Darryl Garrettson.
It's on Elvin Hayes.
It is on he, who is next to Bernie. The way Bickerstaff reacted, in fact, I'm still not sure it wasn't Bernie who yelled at Darryl.
There's a Big E.
There's Mitch Kupchak, Roger Fegley in civilian clothes. Well, he hasn't lost his voice. Here it goes to Unseld. Moving inside on Sikma. Went the other way on him, and Jack did not get the proper help from the other side to seal it off. And there's the first period stats. Says a lot, doesn't it? Washington again shooting poorly. In that last game, they hit only 33%. Hayes 1 of 7. Their guards are 3 of 17 from the floor. And Seattle's defense has got a lot to do with it. It's against Ballard. And he's protesting.
Let's watch Ballard right here now on the play. Here he comes. He gets hit pretty darn good right there with Johnson. And he got called for fighting through the screen.
Ballard almost got another one. DJ comes inside and goes to JJ. They send it back to Silas. And the turnaround against Ballard. He just leaned right into him like a giant redwood.
That's his best shot. Get that boy low and lean right in. That's Big Paul. Uses his weight as well as any player.
Extracted a little physical toll there too, didn't he? Here's Wright jumping it off to Ballard, and there's a foul. Silas was in behind Greg that time, and Silas has assessed the personal.
He didn't say a word, you notice, Mr. Salas, to the official.
Reason why. Why compound things? Dandridge sends it back to Larry Wright, who's open. And there's a foul down away from the shot. And there was a push against Silas. He's picked up another one. He might want to say something about that. No? Let's see. Yes, he did. As downtown Freddie Brown checked in. First thing he did when he got to the arena was to seek me out and show me a bruise up there in his forehead. Where he says he was kicked by Wright.
We only ran that replay 3 times. It was all for you, Brent.
27-21. Even Larry Wright admitted to me. Sikma on the slingshot. Down to the floor he goes. Now John Johnson on the steal. Back to Silas. Here's Freddie. Jump pass. And it was the young man standing there, Ballard. He lost control of it out of bounds, however. I thought for sure Brown was going to go through with the shot.
He made a very careless pass to start that play off when he had to rebound on his play. Well, that's that play up in front, but Ballard couldn't hang on to that one. But to start it, Brad, he had the ball in the backcourt, turned his back, and just lofted the ball up, and JJ picked it off. Very careless play.
Shelton is in because the chairman of the boards has gone out for a while. Silas with 2 fouls. Shelton also playing with 2. DJ from the corner, number 24 out of Pepperdine. Goes back to Shelton. Dandridge rebound. Here's Larry Wright. Eyes the floor ahead of him. Puts a move on Brown, and there's a foul called. As he cut inside. Went down the middle. Freddie fouled him.
Good move that time. A crossover dribble by Larry Wright. Goes up into the middle. Again, there's the foul reaching in. Jack Sikma actually fouled him also.
young guard out of Grambling. And as Hot Rod told you, he carried the Bullets magnificently down the stretch in the first game. Hits the free throws, and the Bullets are back to within 4.
Yeah, 12 for 18 for the field in that game. Many of them outside on that long jumper.
John Johnson looking back door. There's Dennis. Delays on the shot. Marvelous body control. Throws it in. It's 29-23. How'd you like to have Dennis Johnson on any basketball team? Light stops, goes, jumps. Sikma with the rebound. Off now to DJ. DJ to the middle. Comes motoring pass right. Up to Shelton. DJ with a shot. Then he comes right back and sets a play to Shelton. You see something else? Wright turns the corner. Brown will come back on him after the switch. Goes to Ballard. Hands to Wright. Sikma against Unseld. Hayes continues to watch from the bench. Dandridge has not been into the offense much. Comes inside.
He traveled before that foul, but I believe they're going to give him a foul on the play. They have completely got this. Watch the team frustrated. Watch him shovel his feet there before he went into that little move. And a foul charge to JJ. That'll be his second, and Dandridge will get a couple of free throws. Lenny Wilkins.
at the end of the season.
He'll have a few words to say to you after this one.
Come on, Sam, you're going good. 35,000 last Sunday in the Kingdom. Pay him what he's worth. Dandridge hits the free throw. 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go. 31-25.
Why don't you buy yourself a franchise, Brent?
If I find the banker, I will. Here's Freddie Brown on the runs. Runs up the hooker.
That's incredible. Now the guards are throwing hook shots for Seattle.
Reevy comes to the dribble, and DJ watches now for the pick. Goes back to Unseld. 9 on the shot clock. Reevy comes up on Dennis. Misses, and JJ to the rebound. John positions the troops, and Freddie Brown off with the shot. DJ tries to save it. He was fine, out of bounds. It'll go down to the Bullets.
Brent Hedge, interesting statistic. Washington has set up 22 times, and they've only scored 10 points off those set opportunities. The Sonics, 24 times. They've got 27 points. So the set offense working much better for the Sonics.
The Sonics have 4 team fouls with 8:26, and the Bullets only 2. Sikma out for the block. And here's JJ. Coming inside. Quick shot. Unseld. Defensive rebound. Comes up to Kevin Greedy. Greedy runs it down. Larry Wright loses it, and Brown comes back. Dennis is right there behind him. Now Freddie waits, and it's 5-on-5. John Johnson inside for the layup, and the foul called.
That'll be 3 on Elvin Hayes. Here we'll see the drive again from our overhead camera. Good spin move coming up by John Johnson. Greevy out of position. E to come over to help. Gets him with the body.
Here's picked his way through there, JJ. Awfully smart forward. You got to be real straight with him on the defense because he has a great ability to pass if you pick him up out front.
Hot Rod and Rick, why is the Big E so out of sync in this series? Why isn't he setting up over there in that right-hand spot, taking the ball and going to the turnaround? Is the Seattle defense just taking that spot away from him each trip?
I think so. They're doubling up. They're forcing him to move out of the spot that he wants to be in.
I agree with Rod.
Unseld, Sikma. Let me see where Hayes goes right now. Shelton is there leaning on him. There's the spot. And he put it down like he was going to try to turn the corner on him that time, Rick.
Well, that was a good move, I think. What he's been doing has been very predictable. He's getting the ball there. Either he takes that turnaround fadeaway shot. That time he surprised the defense by making the quick spin move. And this is what you should do offensively. Make a quick move. If you don't have something to do right away, then you give the ball back up.
That's 3 fouls on Shelton now, too. And the Big E comes up to the free throw line, and Charles Johnson checks in. Greevy goes out.
That's exactly what he should do. When he gets that ball, make your move right now. You know a guard's going to come in and help out on you. So either go right, go left, spin like he normally does. He has the quickest jump shot of basketball off of a bounce, a turnaround, but he has not been using it in this series.
Well, Well, he's trying to get off the snide here. He's touched the ball a total of 9 times during the course of this game, and he shot the ball on 7 occasions. So he's trying to do things offensively. They're just not working.
7 minutes and 38 seconds. 35-27. Sonics over the Bullets. Wow. Unseld leaning on Sikma. Freddie comes inside. Hangs and puts. That's 2 runners. That one coming left to right. A few moments ago, he moved right to left.
He shot that one in defense just because he had nothing else to do. He had to throw it up.
Hayes, and there's the turnaround.
And again, he did it quickly, Brent. He got the ball and he made his move. The time that he gets in trouble is when he stands there and allows the defense to come in and trap him and double team him.
Down away from the ball. There was a blocking foul call. And it was against Charles Johnson, number 15. He's protesting. Williams sends it over to Silas. Now Gus moves and Henderson comes right with him. And from the perimeter, it's 2 more. And for the game, that's 11 points for Gus Williams. He's averaging 28 an outing. Charles Johnson for the right baseline. And even against Sikma, who'd hustled over on defense. CJ hit the little jumper.
We've seen a guard play with so much confidence in a World Championship Series as Gus Williams. He'll raise and throw it up from 20 feet without even thinking, and he knows he's going to make it. He's got all the confidence in the world.
JJ sends it off to Freddie Brown, who goes downtown. Not that time. Unseld looks outlet, goes to Henderson. Henderson is past JJ. Off to the Big E.
Brent, that's 11 opportunities off the break now for Washington. They've scored on 6 of them. They are doing what their coach Dick Motta has asked them to do. They are forcing themselves to run, and it's been paid off in big dividends for them because their set offense has the runners. We see Henderson force it up the middle. He penetrates, hands off to E for 2.
And Hayes now with 8 points is into the offensive flow. And also, we'll have our Chevrolet Coach of the Year. And that could be a close battle, right? 2 candidates right here. Lenny Wilkins and Dick Motta. How about Hubie Brown down in Atlanta? Cotton Fitzsimmons at Kansas City. We'll have our choice at halftime. Here's Brown, wants to go to Sikma. Jack dishes to Gus Williams. Not a good shot that time, and Hayes was there for an easy block. And here's Henderson. Turns the corner. And Ballard, offensive rebound. It's 39-35.
Hey, one thing, Henderson's making great moves with speed, going right to the basket, but he's just throwing up the shot wildly as he did that time. Fortunately, Ballard was there in good position to get the rebound basket.
Wonderful Wally Walker, 42. Offensive foul is called, and it goes against Silas, number 3.
Here's Paul Silas coming across the lane. The E trying to establish his position ahead of him. Well, watch the E give a great acting job on that one. Draws the foul, so it paid off.
Ballard sends it to the right to CJ. Johnson into the key is short. Here comes Williams with that speed. To the middle. Henderson is back. Blocking foul is called as Gus Williams lost control, and that's 3 fouls on Henderson.
Watch the play here. Here comes Gus down the middle. He took the long rebound right at the free throw line, accelerates here. You watch him lose the ball without anyone touching it. Got away, but then Henderson bumped him with a body. So both clubs are in the penalty. 5:12 left second quarter. Gus will have 1 plus the penalty for 2 free throws.
The foul situation could be a big point in the 4th period. Already Silas with 3, Shelton with 3, Henderson with 3, and the Big E with 3. For Gus Williams now, he scored 12 points. He is the high point scorer as he has been throughout the series. 31 points Sunday in game 3. Here's Hayes, turns, comes in, and now he has scored 10 points.
Made a nice little turnaround move there with a quick bounce. That's what he's got to do more of.
Williams comes around the Sikma pick, goes to the jump shot. Pretty pick that time by Sikma. And Shulman is up here complaining about the officiating. Sit down, Sam, you're going good. Unseld. Looks in over Sikma. Hands it off now to CJ. CJ hits 2.
Well, that was a frozen rope. You could hang your wash on that one.
Williams barks out the play. Walker to the jump. Hayes off to Henderson. Henderson's been looking for the drive. Sends it off that time to Ballard from the corner. It's a 2-point Sonic lead. Onside one, 42-41. 3:50. Williams. Walker with an offensive rebound. Williams hacks it up. Came right up over the back of Wes Unseld for a 3-point Sonic lead.
That's his second offensive rebound basket. Gus Williams only 6'2".
CJ sends it to the Big E. On the double team, he was fouled as he turned on Walker. Wally fouled him.
Well, watch Gus Williams and see what he does after this play. He comes off, he'll take the shot. Now watch, nobody bothers to box him out. Henderson took off down the floor. Walker shoots it. Gus times himself, goes right in and tips it in the basket. The guards have to box out in this game as well as the big men.
For Hayes in the first half. 6 men have scored for the Bullets and 6 for the Sonics as Larry Wright. 32 returns with Henderson leaving. So the mini guards are on the floor for Martin.
Here's that break situation I talked about. Washington has capitalized on it for 16 points. Seattle only 6 points off their break situation.
It's one again. 44-43. 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go. First half. This is the 4th game of the NBA Championship Series. DJ Williams. DJ. 2 more Seattle.
Guards have a great ability to penetrate, hang in the air, look for each other. That time it was Gus. Dropped it right to DJ for the shot.
We've got a timeout.
And we've got a foul.
Also, that is number 4 on Silas. That is 4 personal fouls on Paul Silas. We are back at the Coliseum, and that gentleman there in the suit and tie is Abe Poland. Next to Mrs. Poland, he, of course, is the owner of the world champion Washington Bullets. And he's got an excellent seat right there on the 50-yard line, about 15 rows up, but not close enough to bother the referees like the owner of the Sonics. That's the home court advantage. 46-44, Sonics over the Bullets. JJ looking for the cutter. Ballard on him, and here's Dennis. DJ and Charles was with him, and there's a foul, jump ball. No foul, jump ball.
That's a good block.
Great play by Charles Johnson.
He gives away 4 inches on the play, but watch him reach in as the ball was exposed. Here's CJ on the defense. Right in low to DJ, 6'4", and right there he got the ball before he went up. Got to jump.
They'll come up again. They'll come up again. Re-jump it.
There was a jump before. They just kind of collided. Nobody got the ball.
Live back now to Williams. They go to Sikma. Turn around. Unseld tightens up, flies at him, and Jack hits it anyway.
And Brent, he should be looking to shoot it more. He hasn't been shooting the ball that much in this game, and he really has the touch. He's been just fantastic in this series so far.
Dennis Autry is in. Now underneath. And it goes against Sikma.
There was 3 men trying to go into Hayes. Sikma's fronting him. You see Autry to the side. Now watch over here. JJ comes up on the play. So Elvin Hayes, and a penalty will be at the line of the foul charge to Jack Sikma.
That's the first foul on Sikma. There are 3 on Shelton, 4 on Silas for Lenny Wilkins, who now must consider the foul situation. Sikma is off to DJ. Sonics up by 3. 2:15 first half. Dennis rotates down at the length of the floor. No one picked him up.
I think Elvin was afraid to pick up that 4th foul, Brent.
Put his hands in his pockets.
Unseld. Ballard cuts. Deflected by Williams out of bounds. If you're wondering about Bobby Dandridge, who is not playing right now, he is up and he will return. He has scored but 4 points. 1 field goal in the first period and 2 free throws in the second.
We're taking an E out right now. You don't want to get 4 fouls in the last minute and 55 seconds of the first half, so Mata's going to send Dandridge in, give the E a rest.
Ballard outside. Unseld couldn't control, but Ballard does. Sends it across now to Mr. Clutch. Dandridge outside. High bounce, and it's run down by Charles Johnson from the baseline. Rolled in, and it's Unseld. And the Bullets out-hustled the Sonics, one of the few times in this series where that has been the case. 1:32, first half.
It's this one area that the Bullets have dominated, the offensive rebounding, and they're still continuing to do that.
Dennis Johnson sends it in to Williams, and Wright charged. Hold it, it's against Gus.
He leaned right into Larry Wright. You look again, as soon as he got the ball, he just turned right there and made contact. Wright goes flying out. So Bullets will have the ball back and a chance to get to within 1.
In the game on Sunday, for the first time in the series, the Sonics out-rebounded the Bullets 49-44 overall. But as Rick pointed out, Wes Unseld was a tower of strength on the offensive glass. Johnson, double team, draws the foul. Dennis Johnson was coming in behind him.
Here's CJ coming right over his shoulder. CJ goes into the air. Right there, he tried to block it, got him with the arm. But this young man has brought the Bullets back as well as any player, and that's Charlie Johnson off the bench. Doing a good job.
And they say that it was the front man, Sikma. 2 fouls on Jack, who jumped into it.
Yeah, Jack was the man who left his feet and hit him with the body on that play. That's what the foul was called.
So Dennis is playing with 1 foul, and Sikma with 2. And 1:10 to go, and Johnson will come up now to shoot the penalty. He can make it a 1-point game again.
He's picked up 5 points in this quarter coming off the bench. He's really brought it back.
Vern, I think that Dick Mata's got to feel very happy at this stage of the game. His team has not done well off the set stuff, which they normally do. Bobby Dandridge has not been a big factor. He hasn't been a big factor. It's that running game that has kept them close so far.
Dandridge goes with JJ. Sikma in low. Now Sikma with the turning jump shot for Jack Sikma. 8 points.
He's got to shoot, Brent. Wes Unseld cannot stop him from shooting, as I pointed out. Not many people can.
Well, he gave him a body bump to it. It didn't bother Sikma. Went right up and hit the shot.
Foul down inside, away from the ball against Wally Walker. And for Walker, that is 2 personals now. Wally has not yet broken into the scoring column.
Scoring pace has really picked up in this quarter after a very sluggish start. It was 24-16 at the end of the period.
So the Cavs are up over 30 in this period. Their second 30-point outburst in a single period in the championship series. Ballard makes it 52-51 and 42 seconds in the first half. You know, I think that Gus Williams has lost a lot of hair since the playoffs began. He has been marvelous, though, hasn't he?
Super. Absolutely super. I don't think he'd play any better.
Phoenix, they go backdoor. Dennis Johnson and lose it. Out of bounds on the middle Bullets.
It's one shot time now. There's the replay as the ball was knocked out of bounds, and Ballard let it go smartly because he was standing out of bounds.
18. The shot clock is not quite synced up. 10 seconds on the shot clock, a couple of seconds off. As the Bullets wind it down. Unseld shoots for the lead, the Bullets are ahead. 3 seconds to go, 2-1, the end of the first half. Lenny Wilkins is very upset with the officiating. Wilkins yells back at the 3 officials. The Bullets take a 1-point lead in the locker room. Halftime.
1969, he was drafted by the then San Diego Rockets, where as a rookie he led the NBA in scoring. The franchise moved to Houston, and he continued to score at a rapid pace. But in the 1973 season, he was traded to the Bullets and became the complete player. He won an NBA championship and the adoration of millions of kids. His name, Elvin Hayes. But here in the nation's capital, he's known as the Big E. Well, Elvin, last year you won the NBA championship ring. What was it like?
You know, like out of all the basketball achievements in my life, I think that winning the NBA championship is one of the greatest achievements that any player can achieve in basketball. And no matter what happened at the end of this regular season, that moment of winning that championship, the feeling, the enthusiasm of all the players and the fans, I'll never be forgotten in my mind and in my heart.
You're a hero in Houston as a college player, and of course in San Diego as a pro and on to Houston, but then back here to Washington. The fans here, you just captured this city as a sports hero.
I guess it's just the initial E, because in college it all began down there at University of Houston, and really I think that in San Diego it really didn't catch on as much, but here in Washington the fans are just great. We have just tremendous support here, and it's a great feeling when you go out on the floor and you hear all the E's, and it's just kind of a magical kind of a letter, I guess, for me.
Now on offense and scoring points, you've got to have a favorite shot. Now, it must be that turnaround jump shot from the left side of the court.
That's it's just like a pet shot to me. It's a shot that, you know, I feel that when everything else is going wrong, I can go to that. That's where I think every player has a shot like that. I'm sure when you played, you had a shot where you always felt confident with. And this is the way I felt about my turnaround jump shot. I worked hard on that shot 8 hours a day when I began to learn how to shoot that shot. And now it's a shot where when I feel I need a hoop, when I need to get into the rhythm or flow of a game, I go to it because it's the shot that I have more of my, you know, I have confidence in, really.
Now, you've got a son, the little E. He's around 11, right?
Yeah.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he averaged around 20-something points this year in his league, so he's shooting it pretty nice.
Is he set up on the left side, turnaround jumper?
You know, he don't really shoot that turnaround that much. You know, I think he more or less he's a much better ball handler than I am. He does a lot of maybe a Dr. J stuff and those other players. You know, I feel I have one of the best shots in the game, and he has to go and imitate a Dr. J or some of those other guys.
That's his hero.
Yeah.
How about in the off season, Elvin? You go back to Houston. I know that's your home.
Yeah, I live there. I live in Houston.
What you do in the off season?
I have a ranch outside of Houston in Brenham, Texas, and I go up there.
John Wayne in the summer.
Yeah, I ride horses around and shoot cows here and there. So basically, that's what I basically do.
Elvin, when you put down those final 2 points, what are you going to do?
I probably go into some kind of missionary field or evangelist field, going around speaking at different churches in a certain capacity of that way, I feel. Religion's
made a big change in your life.
Very much so. When I came to Washington to play for the Bullets, and, you know, my career had a very kind of like a stormy kind of a area in it, and coming here with a group of guys, the kind of players on the team, and at the time, Gene Shue, the players and the coach, they really helped me, and they really kind of began to help me get stable with my game and with myself, and all of a sudden, I returned home to Houston, and Christ did the fill-in work. He really did the plan and the total work of my life, and I just thank God and give him the glory for, you know, all the things that I am and all the things that I ever will be.
You know, on the lighter side, I've always kidded you all during the basketball season.
Yeah.
About voting for you for the most valuable player. And Brent, we got to try and get him to come up with a vote for you.
That's true. You know, Brent is kind of hard on me. I think that maybe he keep doing that to try to make me work a little harder to earn his vote.
You're in your 11th year, and you seem to get better with age. You haven't regressed as a player, and physically you keep yourself in great condition. How long can you play?
Well, you know, like, you know, if I said 2 years, and people will be looking for me to get out of 2 years. And so I really don't know right now. You know, it's a thing where I feel with myself is I feel I go out now and I never try to cheat the fans because I never want to cheat myself. And I try to give 100% every night. And this year, you know, I hope I can play every game this year and not miss a regular season game, and you know, which you know I've been very fortunate in the past. And as long as I can go out and play and give that 100%, but once I feel that I'm cheating the fans, and as a player, I know when I'm not able to go out and to really do the things that I feel that I'm capable of doing, then it's time for me to think about getting out.
A lot of marvelous coaching jobs around the NBA this year, but the CBS broadcasters decided that our Coach of the Year award should go to Hubie Brown of Atlanta. And Hot Rod Hundley was there for the presentation from Chevrolet.
Throughout the season, the television crew from CBS has selected the outstanding player. He would win $1,000 for his university, and that was awarded by Chevrolet. Elvin Hayes was the most valuable player for CBS. You've already met him. And $60,000 this year went into a general scholarship fund for all the universities of all the great stars in the NBA. And today it's our pleasure to present to you the NBA Coach of the Year. And to make that presentation, the General Sales Manager of Chevrolet, Mr. Bob Cook.
Rod, thank you very much. I already know who the CBS sports staff selected, and I got to tell you, you made a great choice.
Well, thank you. And that's Hubie Brown, the great coach of the Atlanta Hawks.
Hubie, congratulations from Chevrolet on an outstanding accomplishment. You brought a club from the basement of the Central Division to the playoffs last year, and you maintained that exciting high caliber of play again this year in reaching the finals, and that's no easy accomplishment in the NBA. Now, your work in hundreds of summer basketball clinics throughout the country has been an inspiration to thousands of young people. And that dedication to strong principles provided the leadership qualities that we think set you apart in the profession of basketball coaching. So, Hubie, it's a great privilege and with a great deal of pride for me to present this trophy to you, signifying that you're the Chevrolet Coach of the Year for 1979. And in addition to this trophy, a check for $5,000 will be sent to the Niagara University in your name to the General Scholarship Fund. Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Cook. But at this time, on behalf of Niagara University, the Atlanta Hawks, and especially my family, I would like to thank you and the Chevrolet people for bestowing upon us this beautiful honor. I'd also like to thank, at this time, my two assistants, Frank Layden and Mike Fratella, and also a basketball team which we all realize when we take on the coaching profession that you are only as good and that your notoriety is dictated by the execution of your team under pressure. So not only do we as a staff accept this, but we also realize that our basketball team is the one that made it all possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Really a great job, and we appreciate it from CBS with Chevrolet this year. It was really wonderful. And Hubie, congratulations. You did a great job, and you made basketball. You put it right on the map professionally in the city of Atlanta.
Thank you very much, Rod.
Back in Seattle, I'm Brent Musburger, and Hot Rod Hundley's got Kevin Greavy. Hot Rod.
All right, Brent, Kevin, you got the club off running real quick. You had your first 6 points of the game. I thought that was a big difference in the first half.
Well, we came out running. We had to push the ball up and beat the defense down the floor. In these first 3 games, we've been going into the teeth of their defense, and they've been playing us tough. They've been gambling, and it's tough to time after time keep going into the defense. So Dick's stressed for us to try to beat the defense down the floor, try to get the early offense, a quick shot. And fortunately, we got a few of those early.
All right, Kevin. Good luck to you in the second half.
All right.
Now let's go to Rick Barry.
JJ, I have to know, what did Lenny Wilkins say in there at halftime? You fellas gave up 30-some-odd points.
Well, he just said, don't let the officials affect you. Just go ahead and play our regular game. Because when they start calling the fouls on us, you know, we let it break our momentum. And we stop executing the way we normally do. And they got their break going. The guards start penetrating, and it started to hurt us, you know. But I think we'll be all right the second half. We come out and just play like we're capable.
Well, listen, good luck. I know Bobby D is going to come out looking to do something in the second half.
I know that, too.
Thank you. Back to you, Brent.
All right, 16 fouls against Seattle in the first half, 12 against Washington. At the free throw line, the Bullets were 17 of 21, and the Sonics 10 of 13.
The game, as a player of the game.
Williams, Dennis Johnson, and Jack Sikma were incredible, Brent. And I can't vote. I have to vote first for one of them. I give
36 for Gus, 32 for Dennis, and a bunch of blocks. Sikma did everything and had 20 points.
Three-way tie for player of the game. And let's thank the crew who brought you all of this action here tonight. Our executive producer, Charles H. Milton III. Produced by Bobby Stenner and directed by Tony Berna. Our associate producer, Rick Sharp, and our associate director, Bob Dunphy. Brooks Graham and Lynn Kirk brought the crew here. Thanks, gang. Everybody did a great job. In overtime, it was 114. We are in Game 4 of the NBA World Championship Series. Game 5 will be coming your way from CBS on Friday night. Here we are tied with 9:54 to go in the third. Our situation in Game 4 with 9:57 to go in the third. During the timeout, Lenny Wilkins telling the Sonics on defense to pressure the ball and not let them move it around the horn as easily as they have been. Inside to Hayes, and Dennis Johnson muscles a rebound out. Now down quickly with the pressure. Bullets are back. Dennis went inside and drew the foul.
Here's the move on DJ. Free throw line, he angles to the left side and just dives down the middle, splitting the defenders. Put the ball up, but he was fouled. Going to the hoop by Creevy, his second.
Brent, something that both teams are trying to do. We always talk about that you win this game when you try to get an inside game established. Both teams are trying to do that, even though they're not shooting all that great. Each team has only made 3 baskets in this game from outside of 15 feet. They haven't really taken all that many opportunities out there.
Now, with that missed free throw, the Sonics have already missed 6 here in this game. Dennis puts that one away. 3 team fouls on the Bullets, none against the Sonics, as the Sonics lead it on the strength of that free throw by a point. Yes, indeed. They did play good defense back in Game 3 as they have played throughout most of this series. That has been the difference. And the Sonics lead at 65-59 here in Game 4. 8 minutes.
And Brent, so far in this quarter, Elvin Hayes, who seemed to get back into the rhythm of things late in the second quarter, has only touched the ball 1 time on offense.
And they're looking for him right away. Shelton waving his arms. Unseld sends it to Henderson and gets it back. Greavy from the perimeter. The ball movement that time.
Hayes went inside, set the screen. Greavy rolled right out behind him, and it's open for the jump shot.
We have not seen Bobby Dandridge at guard in this game as we did in games 2 and 3. Sikma sends it to Shelton. Quick pop. He's got it. And Gus Williams was the man flying for another offensive rebound. Had that ball come out, he had timed his leap perfectly. Dandridge sends it back to Wes, who rolls in for the layup. 67-63.
That's a fine play. Dandridge at 6'6", penetrating, looking for Wes Unseld. Perfect. Right down the lane for the layup.
Classic give and go.
Williams under pressure. Unseld looks for the outlet. How impressive Wes is, and he may have injured that knee just a bit. He's a little slow coming down. Now he sets up on Sikma. A double team, and Wes rolls the hook, and Henderson came up and in for the offensive rebound. Not a thing wrong with the big fella's knee that time.
That's great timing by Henderson. He saw the play made by Unseld. He knew he was going to take the hook. He just took off, leaped, and caught it right off the front of the rim and put it down.
Sikma to the screen. Goes inside. Double team, foul call.
Jack never realized it, but he had a dunk shot if he had spun to the hoop. Now watch the play here when he gets it. Both men out of position. Bobby D goes the other side right here. Goes right to the basket. Nobody's guarding the hoop.
Turned the wrong way. Dandridge fouled him, and that is 3 on Bobby.
They are in the penalty with 6:18 left here in the third quarter, and Seattle has committed only 1 team foul.
Seattle's missed a lot of free throws in this game.
And in game 1, they missed a lot of free throws when they lost that one after the buzzer went off. They were 11 for 23 in that game.
Now for this game here, they are 15 of 24. That's 9 already. 6-10. It's a 2-point Sonic lead. Hayes to his spot. Jump turnaround. He was fouled as he came up on Shelton. And that is 4 on Shelton.
There's the move again. Big E just turning quickly. One bounce, turn to the right, put it up. He's better with that shot when he turns back to his left, but he was cut off in a way he would like to have turned, so he had to turn back right. He got fouled on the play, 2 free throws.
Hayes and Dandridge have not scored in the third period. There, Elvin breaks through with his 15th point. Six minutes, third period, and deadlocked on the strength of the Big E's 2 free throws. Sikma has only a free throw. He has not been going for the field goal attempts. He's swinging away from him, and now Johnson wants Dennis underneath. And Greavy tries to cut him off. Here's Jack. Unseld trying to draw the offensive foul. This shot, loose Unseld. Off quickly to Greavy. Greavy will pressure Dennis to the glass. And DJ with a magnificent block. Stayed right with a left-handed shot. Williams pull up free throw line.
Well, that's a perfect example of what defense can do for you. Just a great individual effort on the part of Dennis Johnson and super individual effort on the part of Gus Williams.
Henderson slams into Williams. Offensive foul.
Now let's watch the play again. Here's DJ. He goes up, times it beautifully. It might have been an offensive foul on Greavy. No call. The pitch out to Gus. Gus behind the back, takes it down on his own. He'll stop at the free throw line, which is what you're supposed to do when you've got men waiting for you. Pops in 2 points.
That's 5 fouls on Henderson, who has left the game, and Larry Wright is in. Hot Rod?
That's about as fine a defensive play as you can make against a fast break. That block by DJ. Unbelievable how he got in there in time to get
Technical
it.
foul against the Bullets.
This time they got Bernie Bickerstaff.
Yes, on Bernie Bickerstaff. That was who the technical was called against.
Motters up in front of him, kneeling down, looked over his shoulder. He didn't know who the foul was on.
Williams hits the technical. 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third period. It is the Sonics 70 and the Bullets 67. Williams over Wright. And the Wizard now with 26 and rolling.
Brent, the entire first quarter, the Sonics only had 8 points on the break. They already had 8 to score.
Inside to Hayes, and there was a foul underneath.
That's
5 on Lonnie Shelton.
Well, they were really collapsing inside on the Big E in that play.
Paul
Shelton got
Silas
him
into the game, and Shelton will go out. Silas with 4 fouls.
Silas played 15 minutes in the first half, made 3 out of 4 shots, but picked up those 4 fouls, and he came in awfully early, in less than 4 minutes of the first quarter.
Williams goes with Wright. Hayes comes to that side. Silas leaning on him. Hayes turnaround baseline. 18 for Elvin. Gus signals the play. DJ controls the ball. Here's John Johnson. He's their top assist man at that forward spot. Wanted it back from Sikma, loose on the turnover. It's Greavy. Greavy in the middle, turns back in, and Sikma was right there. Foul called as Jack Sikma picked off Kevin Greavy.
Well, Kevin made that, when they made that spinning move, he never touched the ball with his right hand, and then he turned, went up, Sikma right on him. More or less a forced shot here, but he got away with it and was fouled. Kevin will get a couple of free throws.
3 fouls, and here it is again.
There you see, never touched the ball with his right hand, which normally you would do when you reverse with the dribble. It would have freed him for a shot.
15 for Greavy. 4:16. And it's back to 1 again. Hayes is lurking back, and it bounces to Silas with the layup. Elvin Hayes had sloughed off of Paul Silas, and the deep rebound went right to Silas. Sikma now sagged off into the middle. Unseld will bring him out a little bit, but not far. Right. Goes into Bobby Dandridge, up over Johnson, and Unseld up over Dennis's back. 4 fouls on Wes.
Boy, is he upset. He thought he went straight up all the way on the play. Great competitor. Here's your play again, the shot. And you'll watch Unseld on the rebound. He'll come up over the top. Right here, looks as if he went straight up. Dennis more or less leaning back with his arms extended, but they give the foul to Unseld. His fourth. We're in the penalty.
Another missed free throw.
That's a couple of pretty good guards, Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams. What a great play. Might be the best in the league together.
That's a 4-point Seattle lead at the 3:36 mark. John Johnson goes with Dandridge. They clear off and DJ the double team, and Dandridge came inside. And John Johnson wanted the offensive foul. That is 6 points for Dandridge, only his second field goal.
That could have been traveling on that play Dandridge made. He ducked down and it took a little step in, but he got away with it.
Williams from the perimeter. 28, his average for the first 3 games, and he's got still a period to go. Charles Johnson will check in for the Bullets. Unseld into the middle, and now the last 2 trips down the floor, the Bullets have been able to penetrate right into the middle. Dandridge and then Unseld. And then the Sonics will come right back down and go over to Williams, and he'll probably hit another one. This time John Johnson, short, Unseld. Looks outlet, goes to right. Right quickly to the attack. Didn't go through with the shot, and here's Dandridge. Williams has switched out on him, and Bobby D stuck right with it. Tap back in by Unseld, not there. Sikma. Outlet. Williams open. John Johnson. Back to Dennis Johnson. Foul as he came to the glass. Not hurt. Kevin Greavy helped him up.
Well, he ought to do that. He knocked him down. There's a scoop pass this time by DJ. In for the shot with the body. The foul. Fortunately, DJ didn't get hurt. Nice sportsmanship on the part of Greavy.
And we'll be back in Landover, Maryland on Friday night for Game 5. We'll televise it live, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and along the Pacific Network, you will watch it at 6 o'clock. That's live Friday night, Game 5 of 3 periods of Game 4 of this NBA Championship Series with the score. Seattle 84, Washington 81. And the NBA on CBS will continue after these messages from your local station. So we are set now to begin the money period. 12 minutes left. It's 84-81. Sonics ahead of the Bullets here in Game 4. Third period stats up there on your screen. Seattle just riddled away at that net. And on in, watch here.
Here's his move. DJ cuts left to right. Watch Dandridge's body blocking right here. Down they go. Dandridge is already wasn't hurt on the play. And we got the backcourt foul on a timeout with 8:02 left. Seattle 92, Washington 87, Game 5.
So Dennis Johnson moves to the free throw line, having already scored 24 points in tonight in Game 4 of the championship series. He is furious about the call.
There's a shot from the left side by Brown. Shelton coming right in over Unseld to get the foul. Right there, the contact.
That's 6 fouls on Shelton. He is out of the game with the score. Seattle 96, Washington 95. The NBA on CBS will continue after these messages from your local station.
From Bronx.
Lonnie Shelton sitting over there on the right on the Sonic bench has fouled out with 6 points, and Jack Sikma has checked back into the game. Sikma is playing with 4, and Silas with 4. Dennis Johnson with 4 for Seattle. Gus Williams has not played in this period yet, and there you see the Washington situation. Henderson with 5, Unseld with 5, Hayes with 5, Greavy with 4, and Dandridge with 4.
And Brent, the Sonics do not have any break points this quarter. Gus Williams is on the bench. He's the man that keys the running game. He's back into the ball game right now. So we'll see if the Sonics can get on track to try to do that. Washington, meanwhile, has come back in this game, and they got to be tough.
They're going to call kicking on the ball down there. That was the signal from the referee.
Look at a Bob
up and under the basket. Here's Unseld with Jack Sikma. Dandridge with the ball down the middle. His shot misses. Then they really go after it. Ballard can't find the handle as it's knocked away from him. Everybody really going after that ball. You think they don't realize whether we're in the last 3 minutes of the game?
We'll sort out what's going on here at the table. Lenny Wilkins up with Darrell Garrettson.
It was a beautiful play there by Dandridge. Because he was doubled up. There's no way he could get that shot away, and he printed the needle to West. He missed the first, and the ball slipped away from him. Then he made a power play to get that hoop to tie it up in a very clutch situation. 18 seconds. Now what do? You got to bring it right down to the wire. You got a task where you do not want to give it up to the other team, so you got to try and work it right down, I would think.
Use the last shot and either win it at home or go into overtime.
And if they go to overtime, they've got the advantage. Foul situation definitely favors Seattle.
Hayes is already out. Rod with the 6 fouls, Dandridge with the 5, Unseld with the 5, Henderson with the 5, Greavy with the 4, and for the Sonics, Dennis Johnson with the 5, Shelton is already gone, Sikma with 4, Silas with 4. So you're absolutely right, they get an edge in OT.
However, I think Rick would agree, being a player right now, that if you get that ball with, say, 5 or 6 footer out there wide open, they're going to take that shot. You'd hate to have to pass one up. It would be relatively easy, that close to the hoop.
Well, right now, the only shot you should take prior to getting the ball up so that the buzzer goes off and the ball's in the air would be just an uncontested move right to the basket so you were sure of the 2 points. Otherwise, you're foolish to take a chance because anything can happen out there.
And here we go.
The play, I think, Brent, that I would run if I were coaching this Seattle basketball team, the play I would come up with, I have no idea what Lenny will, would probably be to get Gus Williams and Jack Sikma running a 2-on-2 play because Gus come off the screen, Wes Unseld would have to come out and pick him up, and Gus has all the advantage in the world there. He can get the shot off, maybe blow by him, and that's the play I would run.
Henderson pressuring the ball out here is largely responsible for keeping the man outside. The Sonics, of course, are complaining that Sikma was fouled. He came back up.
Unseld went after him, and it looked like he may have hit him on the arm. That's the complaint.
We'll put it back to the last 17 seconds again.
Here it is. The DJ, look how Henderson will not allow Gus to get to the ball, fronting him. And Dennis still waiting on him patiently, and then he'll get the ball to Gus. He'll miss the shot right at the top of the lane.
With 5 seconds, he shoots, Rod.
Right. Now you'll watch Sikma get this rebound. And right here's your play. Here's Unseld. Did he hit him or not?
I'll tell you, whether he did or not, that is a marvelous play by a veteran. You got to give the 6th foul in that situation.
And with 5 fouls, go after him.
Go to him.
He did it.
He may have gotten all ball. Could you tell, Rick?
Brent, it's very difficult, of course, in that replay. The angle was absolutely the worst you could have for that particular play that we were looking for.
Hit him on the arm. That's the complaint.
We'll put it back to the last 7. Whether he did or not, that is a marvelous play by a veteran. You got to give the 6th foul in that situation.
And with 5 fouls, go after him.
Go to him.
He did it.
He may have gotten all ball. Could you tell, Rick?
Brent, it's very difficult, of course, in that replay. The angle was absolutely the worst you could have for that particular play that we were looking for, but it did show the overall play, which you were trying to point out. We're going to try it from a low angle and see what we can see here. Now here's Gus coming up with the shot. Takes a very, very difficult shot with 2 men on him. Almost made the shot. Comes off. Now let's see what we can get here. Got a little better angle. Sikma's got it. Now here's Wes going up with him. Here's the shot. Let's watch Wesley's hand. He gets him. There's a foul. He gets.
Wait a minute. Hold it.
After the shot.
Hold it.
After the shot.
He's released.
Brent, that is a foul after the shot. You are not allowed to hit the man after the shot or before the shot.
Can we roll it on through right there? I don't know. I'm telling you, that could really still go either way. His hand was pulling away.
Well, that's the same kind of play they called the last time down in Washington on the foul on Henderson. That's just as much contact.
That's a player of the game.
Williams, Dennis Johnson, and Jack Sikma were incredible, Brent. And I can't vote. I have to vote for each one of them. I get
36 for Gus, 32 for Dennis, and a bunch of blocks. Sikma did everything and had 20 points.
3-way tie for player of the game. And let's thank the crew who brought you all of this action here tonight. Our executive producer, Charles H. Milton III. Produced by Bobby Stenner and directed by Tony Berna. Our associate producer, Rick Sharp, and our associate director, Bob Dunphy. Brooks Graham and Lynn Kirk brought the crew here. Thanks, gang. Everybody did a great job. In overtime, it was 114-112.